My friends, in this world where everyone is fighting their own unseen battles, where every heart carries a story of struggle, the most beautiful gift we can offer is positivity. Not money, not advice, not judgment, but the energy that uplifts. When you enter a room, people should feel lighter, calmer, and happier, not because you have solved their problems, but because you reminded them that goodness still exists. Positivity isn't about denying pain or pretending that everything is fine. It's about finding a light even in darkness and then helping others see it too. Think of yourself as a candle. One candle can light thousands without losing its own flame. The more you share positivity, the brighter your world becomes. But how do we actually give positivity to everyone we meet? It starts with small, sincere actions. A kind word, a smile, a patient ear. These simple gestures can heal hearts that you don't even know are broken. The goal is not to change people, but to inspire them to believe again in the goodness within themselves and in the world. Be the energy you wish to receive. This is one of the simplest yet most powerful truths in life. We often want people around us to be kind, calm, supportive, and encouraging, but we rarely stop to ask ourselves if we are embodying those very qualities. We crave positivity, but do we radiate it? We wish for peace, but do we carry it? The world mirrors the energy we give to it. If we give out anger, frustration, or bitterness, that is exactly what finds its way back to us. But when we emit warmth, love, and gratitude, we begin to attract the same energy from others. To give positivity to all, we must first become its source. Every morning when we wake up, life gives us a blank canvas. We can paint it with complaints and worries, or we can fill it with colors of hope and gratitude. It begins with a conscious choice. When we train our mind to focus on blessings rather than problems, we start building a positive reservoir inside us. That inner strength becomes the foundation from which we can uplift others. Imagine walking into a room full of people, and instead of absorbing their stress, you radiate calmness that shifts the entire atmosphere. That's the power of being the energy you wish to receive. It transforms not only you, but everyone you meet. Many people think positivity is pretending everything is fine. It's not. Positivity doesn't deny pain, it transforms it. It's the art of seeing light, even when the tunnel is long. When you face challenges with faith and optimism, people notice your attitude. They draw courage from your calmness. Just like one candle can light another without losing its flame, your inner peace can ignite strength in others. To do that, you must nurture your spirit daily. Spend quiet moments reflecting, meditating, or praying. Protect your peace like a treasure, because it is from that peace that your positivity will flow. The company we keep, the words we speak, and the thoughts we entertain all contribute to the kind of energy we carry. If we constantly gossip, complain, or dwell on what's wrong, we dim our own light. But when we choose to appreciate the good in others, when we replace judgment with understanding, our energy shifts. it becomes magnetic. People will want to be around you, not because of what you have, but because of how they feel in your presence. That's what real influence is. Not dominance, but radiance. Positivity also requires emotional discipline. When someone is rude or unfair, our natural instinct is to react. But reacting keeps us trapped in negativity. Responding, on the other hand, allows us to stay in control of our energy. You can't control how others behave, but you can always control how you respond. When you meet hostility with calmness, you break the chain of negativity. It's like putting out a fire instead of feeding it. Slowly, you'll realize that your peace has become your power, and your presence has become a silent teacher for others. To be the energy you wish to receive means to live intentionally, to smile more often, to forgive quickly, to appreciate deeply, and to stay grounded even when storms come. Life will test your patience, your kindness, and your faith. But each test is a reminder of who you are becoming. When you consistently choose positivity, you create ripples that reach far beyond what you can see. One kind thought can inspire another. One act of love can start a chain reaction. Eventually, your life becomes a living message that even in a world full of chaos, light still wins when we decide to be it. Listen to understand, not to reply. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, very few want to truly listen. We live in an age of constant noise. Phones buzzing, conversations overlapping, minds racing. People talk more than they connect, and often we listen only to respond, not to understand. But real connection, real healing, begins when we offer someone the gift of our genuine attention. When we listen deeply, we are not just hearing words, we are hearing emotions, pain, dreams, and fears hidden between the pauses and the tones of another person's voice. Most of the time, when someone speaks, they are not looking for your advice. They are looking for your understanding. They don't need you to fix them. They just need to feel seen and heard. When you truly listen, you become a mirror that reflects empathy. It is through such quiet understanding that people find strength again. Think about the last time you spoke to someone who listened without interrupting or judging. You probably felt lighter, calmer, and more understood. That's the power of genuine listening. It heals without saying a word. Listening is not just a skill, it's an act of love. It requires humility and patience. It means putting your own opinions aside for a while and stepping into the world of the other person. When someone trusts you enough to open up, it's a sacred moment. In that moment, your silence can be more powerful than 1,000 motivational speeches. You become a safe space for another human being to express what they've been holding in. That kind of presence is rare, and that's what makes it so powerful. Listening with the intent to understand also helps you see beyond appearances. Sometimes people say harsh words, not because they're cruel, but because they're hurt. When you listen with empathy, you don't react to the surface, you look deeper. You start to sense the story behind the behavior. This kind of listening prevents unnecessary conflicts, builds stronger relationships, and teaches compassion. It reminds you that every person you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about, and your understanding may be the only comfort they receive that day. When you listen only to reply, your mind is busy forming answers instead of receiving truth. You may miss the emotion, the meaning, the heart behind the words. But when you listen to understand, you create a connection that goes beyond language. The other person feels valued, respected, and supported. That emotional connection often gives people the courage to heal themselves, to think clearly, and to find their own answers. Listening also transforms the listener. When you practice being present for others, you train your mind to slow down, to be still, to be empathetic. You learn patience and develop emotional intelligence. You begin to understand that not every conversation requires your opinion or reaction. Sometimes, silence is the greatest kindness you can offer. In that silence, healing happens. People remember how you made them feel, not what you told them. To listen with your heart is to say, I am here for you. It's a silent assurance that someone cares enough to stay. And that single act of being present can fill someone's heart with positivity, even when their world feels dark. Because when you understand people deeply, you give them more than words. You give them belonging. You remind them that they matter. And in doing so, you not only give positivity to them, but you also receive peace and connection in return. That is the beauty of listening to understand. It spreads light both ways. Speak words that heal, not hurt. Words are invisible threads that tie hearts together, but they can also be sharp blades that tear them apart. What we say and how we say it has the power to either build someone up or break them down. Every conversation, every comment, every reaction carries an energy that either spreads warmth or coldness. Most people underestimate the power of their words, yet words are seeds. They grow into emotions, beliefs, and even destinies. A single harsh sentence can linger in someone's mind for years, while one kind word can give them hope for a lifetime. The way we speak reflects the state of our heart. When our heart is filled with anger, frustration, or insecurity, our words naturally become harsh and careless. But when our heart is filled with love and compassion, our speech becomes gentle and uplifting. You can tell a lot about a person, not by how they talk when things are easy, but by how they speak when they're angry or disappointed. It's in those moments of tension that true character is revealed. Choosing words that doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. It means expressing them with wisdom. It's learning to communicate truth without cruelty, to express hurt without hurting others. When you speak with kindness, you don't just comfort others, you also bring peace to your own mind. Anger-filled words may give momentary satisfaction, but they often leave behind guilt and regret. On the other hand, kind words bring inner calmness and strengthen relationships. The person who learns to control their tongue learns to control their life. Because speech is not just a tool of communication, it's a reflection of consciousness. When you are mindful of your words, you become aware of your energy, and that awareness allows positivity to flow through you to others. There will always be moments when we feel misunderstood or wronged. Our ego wants to respond sharply, to teach someone a lesson. But before you speak, pause. Ask yourself, will what I'm about to say heal or hurt? That 1 second of silence can save relationships, prevent pain, and spread peace. Sometimes silence itself is the most healing response. But when words are needed, choose them carefully. Choose words that comfort, inspire, and uplift. Speak not from your emotions, but from your values. Every human being you meet is carrying invisible wounds. You don't know what battles they're fighting, what heartbreak they're hiding, what fears they're facing. A single kind word from you might be the strength they need to keep going. A compliment, a thank you, a sincere, I understand, can change someone's day. Words don't cost anything, yet they are priceless when spoken with sincerity. The world already has enough criticism and negativity. What it needs is more gentle voices. People who speak life into others instead of draining it out. Think of your words like medicine. Medicine heals only when given in the right dose, at the right time, with the right intention. Similarly, your words must be timely, measured, and motivated by love. If you speak with anger, your words become poison. If you speak with compassion, they become healing. Every time you open your mouth, you have a choice to add darkness or to bring light. When you speak with awareness, you become a channel of positivity. And the beauty is, healing words don't just help others, they purify your own heart. When you speak gently, you begin to think gently. When you speak with gratitude, you start to live with gratitude. Your words create your world, and they shape the worlds of others. To give positivity to all, fill your speech with encouragement, forgiveness, and understanding. Speak as if your words are gifts, because in truth they are. Practice the art of appreciation. In the appreciation is one of the most beautiful forms of positivity, because it has the power to transform both the giver and the receiver. Every human heart craves to be seen, valued, and acknowledged. We all want to feel that what we do matters, that our efforts are noticed, and that we are appreciated, not for grand achievements, but for the small things we do every day. Yet, in the rush of life, appreciation often gets forgotten. We take people for granted, their kindness, their patience, their presence, until one day we realize how much that quiet support truly meant. Learning to appreciate others is a way of reminding them that their existence has meaning, and that simple awareness can fill a heart with light. True appreciation is more than just saying, "Thank you." It is about being mindful of the goodness that surrounds you and expressing genuine gratitude for it. It is about seeing the effort behind someone's actions. When someone makes time for you, helps you, or even simply listens, Recognize it. Don't wait for big moments to express your thanks. The beauty of appreciation lies in noticing the ordinary and turning it into something extraordinary. Imagine the joy on a person's face when they hear, I really value what you do, or your presence makes a difference. Those words cost nothing, but they can renew someone's spirit. When you practice appreciation, you begin to focus more on what's right than what's wrong. The mind that is trained to see good automatically radiates positivity. It stops criticizing and starts encouraging. It finds reasons to smile, even in tough times. Appreciation also deepens relationships. It builds trust, warmth, and respect. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or a colleague, everyone blossoms under appreciation. Just as plants grow under sunlight, people grow under encouragement. A few sincere words can inspire them to continue their good work, to push through struggles, and to keep believing in their worth. The art of appreciation also teaches humility. When you acknowledge the efforts of others, you remind yourself that you are not the center of the universe, that goodness comes from many directions. It softens your ego and opens your heart. You begin to see that behind every success in your life, there are countless hands that helped you, parents who supported you, friends who believed in you, teachers who guided you, strangers who smiled at you. Appreciation turns arrogance into gratitude. It keeps your heart grounded and your spirit pure. Moreover, the appreciation creates an atmosphere of positivity wherever you go. When you thank people sincerely, you inspire them to do the same. Gratitude spreads like fragrance. It touches everyone in its reach. A team that appreciates one another works with harmony. A family that expresses gratitude grows in love. A community that values kindness becomes stronger together. Every word of appreciation you speak becomes a seed of goodness that multiplies beyond your sight. Even when life feels challenging, there is always something to appreciate. The lessons learned, the people who stood by you, the opportunities hidden in difficulties. Appreciation helps you shift from complaining to celebrating, from scarcity to abundance. It reminds you that blessings are not rare, they are simply unnoticed. When you make appreciation a habit, positivity becomes a natural part of your presence. You stop chasing happiness because you start creating it, one word of gratitude at a time. E-smile. It's the simplest and most powerful form of positivity. A smile doesn't need translation, permission, or preparation. It is understood by every heart across every culture, language, and generation. A genuine smile is a silent message that says, I wish you well, I see you, or even everything will be okay. It costs nothing, yet it can heal a broken spirit, comfort a stranger, and light up a gloomy day. In a world where people often wear masks of stress, pride, or indifference, a sincere smile stands out as a beacon of warmth and humanity. When you smile, you are not just changing the expression on your face. You are changing the energy around you. A smile creates connection. It breaks barriers. It invites trust. Think of the times when you've entered a place where everyone seemed distant or serious, and then someone smiled at you. Instantly, your heart relaxed. You felt welcome. That simple act had power, not because of what was said, but because of what was felt. That's what positivity looks like in motion. It doesn't need to be loud or grand. It only needs to be sincere. Smiling is not about ignoring pain or pretending that everything is fine. It is about choosing light in the middle of darkness. It's a quiet act of courage. When life tests you, when things don't go your way, and you still manage to smile, it's not weakness, it's strength. That smile tells the world, I haven't given up, I still believe. Sometimes, it's that very smile that inspires others to hold on to. You never know who's watching you, drawing strength from your resilience. A single smile can give someone the hope they need to face their own struggles. Science even supports this simple truth. Smiling releases endorphins, reduces stress, and boosts mood. It not only helps others, it helps you. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a genuine smile and a deliberate one. When you smile, it signals happiness to your mind. It's as if your body reminds your spirit, you have reasons to be grateful. The more you smile, the more your mind learns to focus on positivity. Slowly, this becomes a habit, a natural way of living. And as you change your internal energy, you attract similar energy from others. A smile also creates ripples. When you smile at someone, it often comes back to you multiplied. It's like lighting one candle with another. Both shine brighter without losing anything. Imagine if every person you met today carried a little more kindness just because you smiled at them. That small gesture might seem insignificant, but it contributes to a much larger wave of goodness. Positivity always begins with one heart, one action, one moment of light. There's a special beauty in smiles that come from gratitude. When you smile because you're thankful for life, for love, for lessons, it radiates peace. Such a smile doesn't depend on circumstances, it flows from contentment. It tells the world that even if everything isn't perfect, you choose to see the good. That kind of smile doesn't just stay on your lips. It shines through your eyes, touches hearts, and spreads hope. So, whether you are greeting a stranger, comforting a friend, or simply walking through your day, remember the quiet strength of your smile. It is a reflection of your soul, a sign of your inner joy, and a gift that keeps giving. Life may not always give you reasons to smile, but when you choose to smile anyway, you become a reason for others too. Stay calm when others lose control. This is one of the hardest but most powerful ways to spread positivity. In moments of anger, chaos, or misunderstanding, the easiest reaction is to match the energy around you. When someone shouts, you feel like shouting back. When someone blames you, you feel the urge to defend yourself. But true strength lies in the ability to remain calm when the world around you is losing balance. Calmness is not the absence of emotion, it's the mastery of emotion. It's choosing peace over pride, clarity over chaos, and understanding over reaction. When you stay calm in tense situations, you become like a still lake that reflects truth clearly, while others, lost in their emotional storms, can't see through their own waves. Calmness gives you perspective. It allows you to respond instead of react. A reaction is driven by emotion, but a response is guided by wisdom. The person who can stay centered while others lose control is the one who can lead, comfort, and inspire. In times of tension, people naturally look for stability, and your calm presence becomes that anchor. There's something magnetic about calmness. It silently influences everyone around you. Think of a time when someone handled a stressful moment with grace instead of anger. Their composure likely inspired you to do the same. Calm energy spreads as easily as panic does. But unlike panic, calm brings clarity. When you are calm, your words become measured, your tone becomes softer, and your decisions become wiser. You turn potential conflicts into opportunities for understanding. However, calmness doesn't come automatically, it must be cultivated. It requires patience and self-awareness. You learn it through practice, by pausing before you speak, breathing before you respond, and reminding yourself that peace is more valuable than winning an argument. There's strength in silence, not because you're afraid to speak, but because you know that anger never solves what understanding can. When you stay calm, you protect your energy. You stop others from dictating your mood. You become the master of your emotions rather than their victim. In relationships, whether at home, work, or with friends, calmness is the bridge that holds connections together. When disagreements arise, it's easy to let frustration control the situation. But when one person chooses calmness, the entire tone changes. It opens the door for communication instead of confrontation. The calmer you are, the more you can hear what's really being said. Not just the words, but the emotions behind them. That awareness allows you to respond with empathy instead of ego. Calmness also brings healing. In moments of tension, people are not always rational. They're often speaking from fear, pain, or misunderstanding. If you match their energy, both of you fall into negativity. But when you remain calm, your peace becomes their mirror. Slowly, they begin to lower their tone, soften their words, and match your energy. Without realizing it, your calmness teaches them peace. That is how you give positivity, not through lectures, but through presence. There will always be situations that test your patience. You cannot control what others do, but you can control how you choose to respond. Staying calm doesn't mean you agree with everything or ignore what's wrong. It means you choose wisdom over reaction. It means you decide that your peace is too precious to be disturbed by temporary emotions. Every time you stay calm, you win a quiet victory within yourself. You strengthen your character, protect your peace, and radiate positivity that silently influences everyone around you. Encourage, don't compare. One of the most harmful habits in today's world is comparison. From childhood, the people are taught to measure themselves against others, to compare their looks, their success, their possessions, their achievements, even their happiness. But comparison is a silent thief. It steals joy, peace, and gratitude. It convinces us that we are not enough, even when we are giving our best. When we compare, we start to view others as competition instead of inspiration, and that mindset fills our hearts with jealousy instead of love. Encouragement, however, is the exact opposite. It is the language of growth, faith, and positivity. Where comparison creates distance, encouragement builds connection. To encourage someone means to see their potential even when they can't see it themselves. It's telling them, you can do this. When they're ready to give up, encouragement is like sunlight to the soul. It helps people grow. When you appreciate others for who they are, not for how they measure up to someone else, you give them the courage to continue their journey. Everyone is walking a unique path. No two people have the same background, the same challenges, or the same timing. Just because someone blooms later doesn't mean they won't bloom beautifully. True positivity comes when you can celebrate others' success without feeling diminished by it. Encouragement also transforms relationships. Imagine a workplace, a classroom, or a home where people constantly uplift one another instead of competing. Such environments breed trust, creativity, and peace. When people feel appreciated and supported, they perform better, think more clearly, and share more openly. On the other hand, when comparison dominates, fear and insecurity take over. People become defensive, stressed, and disconnected. A few sincere words of encouragement can change that atmosphere completely. Saying, "I believe in you," or "you're improving," can motivate someone more than any criticism ever could. The root of comparison lies in insecurity. When people feel unsure about their worth, they look outward for validation. But encouragement flows from confidence and self-awareness. When you are at peace with who you are, you no longer feel threatened by other success. You celebrate it. Encouraging others doesn't reduce your value, it multiplies it. The more you lift others, the higher you rise internally. The act of uplifting someone else creates a cycle of positivity that returns to you. The world doesn't need more critics, it needs more encouragers. People who see good, speak good, and spread good. Encouragement is not only about grand words or dramatic gestures. It can be as simple as noticing someone's effort, complimenting their kindness, or acknowledging their growth. Sometimes, people are fighting silent battles that you know nothing about. Your few kind words might be the very thing that keeps them going. Everyone you meet is carrying a dream, a struggle, or a story. Encouragement tells them they are not alone, that someone believes in their potential even when they doubt themselves. When you stop comparing and start encouraging, you begin to live from abundance, not scarcity. You start seeing that there is enough success, happiness, and light for everyone. Life is not a race. It's a journey of growth, and every person is running at their own pace. Some people may reach their milestones earlier, others later, but the beauty lies in the progress, not the position. Encouragement reminds us of this truth. It shifts the focus from competition to contribution, from jealousy to joy. When you choose to encourage rather than compare, you don't just spread positivity, you create a world where people can thrive, not just survive, forgive and let go. These words are simple to say but difficult to live. Forgiveness is one of the greatest acts of strength a person can practice, and yet it is often misunderstood. Many people think forgiving means excusing the wrong or forgetting what happened, but that is not true. Forgiveness is not about approving someone's behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the pain that their actions created. When you hold on to anger, resentment, or bitterness, you carry a weight that drains your energy and clouds your happiness. Every time you replay that hurt in your mind, you reopen the wound. But when you forgive, you release yourself from that prison of negativity and make space for peace to enter your heart again. Forgiveness is not something that happens instantly. It is a process of healing. It begins with the decision to stop letting the past control your emotions. The more you hold on to anger, the more it shapes your mood, your thoughts, and even your relationships. You might notice that your bitterness towards one person slowly starts affecting how you treat others. You become cautious, distant, or cynical without even realizing it. That's the poison of unforgiveness. It doesn't just hurt the person you dislike, it hurts you. When you forgive, you are not doing it for them. You are doing it for yourself. You are choosing peace over pain. Letting go doesn't mean the memory disappears. It means it no longer has power over you. It means you can think of the situation without feeling the same emotional storm you once did. You begin to understand that holding grudges doesn't punish the person who wronged you. It only extends your own suffering. The energy that could be used to create joy, love, and growth gets trapped in bitterness. Forgiveness is the act of reclaiming that energy. It's saying, I deserve peace more than I deserve to stay angry. There is also a spiritual dimension to forgiveness. When you let go of resentment, you align yourself with compassion, empathy, and grace. You realize that everyone makes mistakes, including you. Just as you want to be understood, when you falter, others too are fighting their weaknesses and regrets. This doesn't mean you justify their wrongs, but you recognize their humanity. Forgiveness allows you to rise above the situation rather than sink into it. It transforms you from being a victim to being a victor. Because true strength is shown not in revenge, but in release. Forgiveness also brings clarity. When your heart is filled with anger, you can't see situations clearly. Every thought becomes clouded by emotion. But when you let go, your mind becomes lighter, your decisions wiser, and your spirit calmer. You begin to experience peace on a deeper level. You start noticing how much space forgiveness creates for love to return, for joy to grow, and for life to move forward. Holding on to resentment keeps you stuck in the past. Forgiveness allows you to live fully in the present. It's important to remember that forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciliation. You can forgive someone and still choose to keep your distance if that's healthier for you. Forgiveness is an inner act, not an external arrangement. It is about cleansing your heart, not reopening old wounds. Every time you forgive, you rise a little higher in your emotional and spiritual maturity. You start to see life differently, not as a collection of wrongs and hurts, but as a journey of growth and understanding. When you learn to forgive and let go, you become a source of positivity for others. Your calmness, your grace, your peaceful energy becomes an example for people still trapped in anger. They see through your life that peace is possible, healing is real, and freedom begins the moment we stop carrying what no longer serves our soul.